Howdy friends, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to learn how to make a respiratory remedy that you'll want to have for your family this winter. I know it's hard to be thinking about making remedies for cold and flu. We're in the middle of summer, but this is the time when my herbs are alive and vibrant, and when I want to be making those remedies to stock my home apothecary and make sure that I'm prepared for the upcoming season. One thing that I love to make every year is a respiratory Oxymel. So I'm going to start by talking to you a little bit about what an Oxymel is. An Oxymel is an extraction where we're using honey and apple cider vinegar. So oxy means acid, mel means honey. So these are the two mediums we're going to use to help pull all those beautiful medicines out of a plant. I really like using Oxymels because just the honey and the vinegar alone are great for the respiratory system, help support the immune system, add a lot of really good healthy bacteria. So of course we want to be using, if possible, raw local honey and raw apple cider vinegar to get all of those amazing benefits. But the herbs you're going to choose, well, you know what? We'll film about that in just a minute. So I'm not going to be sharing an exact recipe with you today because I don't know what you have growing in your garden and I don't know what you have access to. So for those of you who really like to have written instructions, I suggest pausing the video, going and grabbing a pen and paper and jotting down some of the ideas I have for you in terms of what plants we want to use. Basically, I want to use plants that have decongestant properties, expectorant properties to help support the lungs, and if I can get an added either antiviral or fever supporting element in there too, then that's just a bonus. So let's go wander into my herb gardens and I'll show you some of the plants that I'm going to be using to make my respiratory Oxymel today. So before you start harvesting, I want you to think about the size of jar that you hope to make. I usually do about a 1 liter jar. You don't have to, you can do 500 ml, it really doesn't matter, because you're going to be loosely filling that jar all the way to the top with your fresh herbs. So that's going to give you an idea of how much you want to harvest. Now, a lot of the plants I'm going to be using today are in the mint family. I love using mint family herbs because one, they're very safe. Most of them don't have any contraindications, which is awesome. Two, they're tasty. So if you've got young kids that you're trying to get this remedy into, it really helps if it doesn't taste awful. I'm sure parents in the audience, let me know, how easy is it to get your kids to take remedies that taste like garbage? Probably not too easy. So mint family usually gets 2 thumbs up from my kiddo. Plus, a lot of people grow these plants anyway. So most of you will probably have these in your garden or they'll be easy to find. So I really like to work with those plants. But the first one I'm going to start with is a lesser known mint family, and this is hyssop or hyssop, depending on how you pronounce it. Hyssopus officinalis. I think I've done a video on this plant. If I have, I'll make sure that I link it in the description below. So I'm just gonna take my scissors and start harvesting a bunch of these blooms. I love this remedy. Not only is it supportive to the digestive system and the nervous system, but of course, what am I using it for today? It's respiratory properties. I want you to remember that when you head inside, you're going to be discarding the stalk of a lot of these. So think again about how much you want to make and harvest just a little extra to compensate for that stalk that you'll remove. So another one, if you have this growing in your garden that is excellent, is lemon balm. So I actually already have a bunch of this harvested in the house, because I made some tincture from it this morning, but I'm definitely going to include it in this Oxymel. What lemon balm brings to the table is its fever modulating properties, which I really want. Now, right beside the lemon balm, actually, it wasn't supposed to sneak into this bed, is some peppermint. And I actually had to plant a brand new peppermint bed this year, so I'm gonna take a few of these. I really wanna have peppermint in here because of its antiviral properties, but again, it's also a really good expectorant and decongestant. I'm also gonna be adding spearmint, so don't forget, if all you have is spearmint or all you have is peppermint, don't overthink this, just make the medicine, you can do this, work with what you have. Even if you made an Oxymel with just lemon balm and peppermint, just those 2 plants, you would have a great remedy for this winter. We're working so hard, so quick to harvest because we are surrounded by mosquitoes out here. Here I am in my spearmint patch. And now I just got smacked on the back. Thanks, babe. And I'm harvesting up some spearmint for this remedy. My gosh, the bugs are so bad this year. But isn't that gorgeous? It's well worth getting a couple of bites, isn't it? So I just released a video on this plant, and I promised that I was going to create a video including this as a remedy, and this is wild bergamot. If you're not familiar with Monarda fistulosa, you can check out my most recent video. But this one has that warmth and that pungency that I want to add to my Oxymel this year. And so it's going to help to thin mucus secretions, make it easier to cough. And so I'm not going to harvest a ton of it because it does have some heat, and I do plan on adding some ginger root to this when I get inside. But I definitely want to include the energy profile of this plant. Another one you could add if you have it growing in your garden. Now, I've pretty much harvested all of this, but I'm going to add again just a tiny amount, is holy basil. If you don't have this, remember, don't panic, don't overthink this. You can make this with just your mints. You could even just do this with ginger if you wanted to. I have a video on that. So don't feel like you have to include everything I'm including today. I just want you to get outside, grab some of those great mint family herbs or those respiratory herbs and make an Oxymel with me. So I'm gonna harvest just a few of these. I don't have enough left to make any more tincture, but I love the flavor. And again, it's got some great respiratory properties. So I'll just add just a few. I'm going to include just a couple of sage leaves for good measure. The reason I'm only adding a few is because this is an incredibly powerful decongestant and can be a little drying for people. So you can see my plant went to flower quite a while ago, but a new stalk has popped up and these leaves look great. So I'll just go in with my scissors and I'll probably harvest about, I don't know, 2 or 3. It's a very powerful decongestant. If you are nursing, I would not recommend adding any sage at all. I'm just extra cautious, but it is such a powerful anticatarrhal that it could actually dry up your milk. So once you're inside with your magical herbal bounty, you're going to want to process your plants. So what that means is you're going to discard the stalk. So this is the part that's really woody. It definitely serves a purpose in a plant. It's a transportation mechanism. It helps hold the plant up to the sun, but in terms of medicinal properties, there's not a whole lot going on. So what I'm going to do, especially with something like bergamot, I will just pop the top off of the flower, and then I'm going to run my fingers along the stem in the opposite direction in which it grows, and that's going to pull all the leaves off for me, and then discard. So if I have something like my hyssop here, same idea. I'm just going to go in the opposite direction in which it grows and slide my way down the stem. And so this is going to take a little while, but this is also a really beautiful opportunity for you to kind of connect with plants. I encourage you to be sort of present and aware while you're doing this. Don't watch a video or listen to a podcast. I mean, of course, do what you want. But if you want to deepen your connection with plants and really start to learn about their properties and work with them in a deeper way, this is a great opportunity while you're processing your herb material. So I'm going to get to de-stemming all of my mint and my beautiful plants, and when I'm done, I'll show you the next step of the process. I have all my herb material processed, so as you can see, we've removed the stems. Now I know this looks like a lot, but we're going to chop it, friends, so that way it will fit in your jar. Now, if you did happen to harvest too much, this would make a really delicious iced tea. So don't throw all the rest of that out. Make sure that you save anything that doesn't quite fit into your jar. And we don't want to pack it in there either. We want it loosely filled at least halfway, but ideally 3/4 of the way or all the way full. If you pack it in there, it's going to be really hard for that honey and that apple cider vinegar to actually work its way around all of the plant material. So just as a reminder, what I have in here is spearmint, peppermint, lemon balm. I have a little bit of holy basil. I have some wild bergamot, some hyssop, and I think, 2 or 3 sage leaves. And I'm going to chop up a few pieces of ginger as well when I'm done chopping all of this and add that to it. So it's going to have that warmth. It's not going to be too spicy because our mints are nice and cooling, but it's going to have enough warmth that it's going to help, especially if you have like a really thick congestion in the lungs and you just can't seem to cough it up. So I'm going to get to chopping. Now I love using, for those who've been watching me for a while, you guys, you love my mezzaluna. Why wouldn't you? I'll put a link below to one that is similar to mine. People ask all the time where I got mine from. I bought it at an actual kitchen store, probably, babe, how long ago? I can't even remember how long ago I was in herb school, probably at least 15, 17 years ago. So I can't help you out there, but thanks to the worldwide interwebs, there are lots available online. I do recommend getting a wider handled one. The little guys are really cumbersome to work with. So I'm just gonna roughly chop this herb material now. And if this is the first time seeing a mezzaluna in action, you can see why people love it. It makes short work of chopping herb material. So as I'm working, you can see I'm like taking the parts on the outside that didn't quite get chopped and moving it inwards, and you just rock back and forth. But you can use any knife you have, right? You don't have to go out and buy a mezzaluna, but if you are planning on processing a lot of herb material for things like tinctures, Oxymels, witch hazel infusions, you know, this may be a good investment, or it might be something to ask for a next gift giving occasion. So I've got my herb material nice and chopped, and what I'm going to do now, as I mentioned, I'm making a 1 liter jar, or a quart, I think is what this is called in the US. You can do this in any size jar you want. Think about how much your family will go through. I like to have extra just in case. I also really like using wide mouth funnels, not necessary. So I'm going to fill this about halfway, and then I'm going to chop my ginger root. Now, so I'm going to fill about half of that, move the herbs aside on my cutting board, and just start. Now this is organic ginger, so I don't actually have to peel it, but it is dry, so I might peel some of that off. Actually, the rest of it looks pretty good. So I'll just cut off the parts that got a little dry. And then I will roughly chop this with this knife, and then I'll go back in with my mezzaluna and give it a good fine chop. Now, the ginger is optional if you don't like the taste of ginger, or you don't want it that spicy at all. You can, you know, you don't have to add the ginger, and you certainly don't have to add the wild bergamot. So I'll just go in with my mezzaluna and give this a bit of a chop. So now I'm just going to add in my ginger and then top off with the rest of my herbs. So the amount of honey and vinegar is very much to taste. So if, let's say, you are struggling with blood sugar issues and you don't want to use a lot of honey, you don't have to you don't have to add any. You could just make what's called an acetic, which is an apple cider vinegar extraction. If you have young kids and you want to make sure this is palatable for them, feel free to add a little extra. I like to include at least 1 cup of honey if I'm doing a 1 liter mason jar like this. Now, as you can see, mine is about 3/4 of the way full. That's perfect. I'm not worried that I didn't fill it all the way. Now, we had to warm up our honey because it has crystallized, so I'm going to pour that over the herbs. Now, everyone always asks why I don't just mix the honey and apple cider vinegar right away. And that's because I don't know exactly how many herbs are going to end up in the jar. And I don't want to create that ratio and end up having a bunch left over. I really want to make sure I get about a cup of honey. I know that's what my family likes, what my son finds palatable. And then from here, I'll top up with the apple cider vinegar. I actually might want to add a little bit more honey to this. So I'm going to leave a bit of space in the top and melt a little bit more, and I'll see you when that's done. All right, I topped off with a little bit more honey and apple cider vinegar. I recommend giving the jar a bit of a shake and then taking that lid off again, because as things settle, you may have to add a little bit more vinegar. If you're using a plastic top like me, you can just put it straight on. If you're using a metal lid, I do recommend putting a piece of parchment paper as a barrier between the lid and the contents, especially because we're using vinegar. It will absolutely corrode your end product. What I like about these plastic tops is I can actually just write on the top here. So here is my Minty Oxymel, and today is the 18th, I think it is. 18th of July, 24th. So that way I know how long this has been sitting. Now, I'm likely not going to strain or press this until I need it in the winter. So I'm just gonna have it sit in a cool, dark location until I need it. But you want it to sit for at least 3 to 4 weeks, ideally longer. So that way the herbs can, or the honey and the apple cider vinegar can start to pull out all that beautiful medicine from our plants. In terms of dosing, remember, I'm not allowed to give any dosing or medical information or anything that could be considered treatment. But what I can say is my family takes this very much like a cough syrup. Hopefully that helps. Now, if you've got any questions, of course, you know what to do. Leave those in the comments below. And until next time, this is Corinne from Spiraea Herbs, wishing you health and wellness.